Our roll call was full board. Approval of minutes of the 2/27/25 meeting.
So moved.
Motion by Massey, seconded by
Second.
Rodriguez. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item 3.1, authorization to approve senior transportation grant, Title 3B. Julissa requests the Board of Estimate to accept the amendment number 6 from Orange County, New York, for additional funding for 2024 of $19,600.34, and amendment number 6, an agreement signed by the mayor as stated. Motion by
Make motion.
Rodriguez, seconded by Massey. So what is this, Julissa? This is additional funds?
Correct.
And we pick up the revenue too, on both sides? Okay. So, motion to approve, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item 3.2, be it resolved that the Board of Estimate and Apportionment authorizes the treasurer to transfer $8,600 in the following manner: from water repairs building to water contractual, $3,600, and from watershed to water contractual, $5,000. Motion by myself,
Action.
seconded by Rodriguez. Jacob, can you give us a brief on what it is?
It's a required emergency action plan for two dams, Woodward Dam and Greenleaf Dam.
Is this what Rebecca Chris sent out the other day?
No, that's another,
What dams?
Greenleaf and Woodward Dam.
Talk to you, said.
Greenleaf and Woodward Dam. They are the ones we just rebuilt, but we have to update our emergency action plan.
So it's the plan, not any repair on the dam?
Not any repair, just the plan in there, emergency action plan, God forbid if something is to happen. There's a plan how to deal with it.
Okay.
And
Motion was by myself, seconded by Rodriguez. Any further questions?
Who's the contractor?
CT Mail, the engineers.
CT?
CT Mail. Yeah,
Mail?
they're the engineers. They should be, there's a proposal from them.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Item 3.3, request approval to accept 2 recreation leaders from vendors as part-time employees at $75 per instruction date. Senior Department, Mulberry South Senior Center respectfully requests the Mayor, Common Council, and Board of Estimate approval to accept the change of Elizabeth Mushton and Michael Saylor from vendor to part-time rec leader at the rate of $75 per service date, per service. If accepted, also to amend the budget line to include Senior Center personnel budget from general fund the amount of $15,600 to assume these 2 positions. All right, what does it mean by $75 per date of service?
So it was correct, it was $25 per hour. So Mr. Mitchell is 3 hours, that's $75 per hour, so that comes out to $75 for each instruction date, which is Thursdays. And then Mrs. Mushton is the only one that there's an error. She was supposed to be paid at $25, and she's being paid at $75, and she's only there an hour.
So Mushton has been overpaid then?
Yeah, that's what it looks like when I look at the records. That's where the error was. She was getting paid, even though this is going back, because she was a vendor, and that was her charge when she originally was a vendor. So
why wouldn't we just leave it at both employees at $25 an hour? Why have language $75 per date of service? If they're punching in as a part-time employee.
Correct, but they originally were a vendor. They both were switched to vendors. So when they billed, Mrs. Mushton billed, she was billing at $75 per class. Mr. Saylor was billing at $25 an hour. So that's where the confusion, that's where the error occurred. The error occurred that when we switched them to an employee, the amount wasn't changed to $25 per hour because now they were an
All right,
employee.
how long is Sailor's in the facility?
Saylor has been since 2018.
No, but I mean, how long is his class?
It's 3 hours. Our
So
instruction
he
on
has,
Thursdays.
so he's going to punch in at $25 an hour.
Correct.
And Elizabeth Mushton, should have a credit for being overpaid. Leonora, can you look into that? Are you familiar with it at all?
Let me bring up.
I don't know if she was overpaid, but that's what she was paid as a vendor, was $75.
But she's saying it should have been in as a part-time employee.
So she should be paid $25 for that 1 hour class?
And that's what the issue is going to arise, because this has been back and forth since 2022.
Yeah, we don't pay any employee. Raven, what in your department, when you have instructional people like this, what is the going rate?
25.
25, that's what I thought.
Correct, but they're on the payroll, or they're a vendor.
They're considered employees, not vendors.
Part-time
Correct. See,
employee.
this is where the issue occurred. The issue occurred because when we originally wanted to hire them, the person that was previously there was there for almost 30 years, which is Mrs. Eisman. So when she left, we had to order 3 instructors in her place, and the Common Council at budget time suggested that they basically stay as a vendor and submit a bill. So that's how we started them, but then it's been flip-flopped about 3 times, from
I
vendor
thought we
to
switched
employee.
everybody to part-time employees.
That didn't happen until August of last year.
All
We
right, so
switched back to
from
employees.
August of last year forward, Mushton has been getting $75 an hour?
Correct, because
So
that's
we have to
what,
take some corrective
yeah.
on her. And I don't see the $75 per service aid. I think both of them will be $25 per hour.
Correct.
And they'll both have to punch a clock, just like every other employee has to punch a clock for the amount of time that they're there. And,
And then you had also written about Mr. Russo. I don't know if that got clarified.
Mr. Russo is still in as a vendor because he's supplying his own insurance.
Correct.
And he was
And a
at what rate?
W-9.
Do you recall the rate that Mr. Russo is at?
He is, let me just look. He is also at $75 per class, for an hour. That's what he's charging.
And you did not put these into the budget in 2025?
No, that was the error, because since had just been changed back to employee, I forgot to add them as a employee. They stayed in the contractual.
So what kind of revenue do the classes generate?
What kind of revenue? There's no revenue. The staff is not, the members are not charged.
So you're asking for $15,600 to cover these 2 positions or 3 positions for 2025?
Why can't it come out of the contractual? Why has it come out of the fund balance?
It can come out of contractual, but it wasn't budgeted for the full amount in contractual. There's only $8,000. $8,000 is what's budgeted in there for,
But isn't there going to be,
Is,
if she was overpaid, Mrs.
Correct.
Mushkin, we don't know now how many hours she was overpaid or how much. That may offset.
Some of it, yes.
correct.
So how have you been paying these people if there's no budget line? What are they paying out of?
They're getting paid out of the part-time employee budget, personnel budget.
I think we need an accounting, Leonora, of what's
So I'm gonna have to.
what's
double check.
going on here. It's $75 an hour for a free class is, I would say, excessive, but
what kind of, like, recreation is it?
This is yoga. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
All 3 are yoga instructors?
Tai Chi, yoga, and art class.
how many people participate in each session?
I have, for the Tai Chi class, we have about 20 to 25. For the yoga, we have about between 30 and 40, and the art class has about 20 people.
And she has $8,000 in the consulting line?
Yes, of which is the one other vendor, and James Russo is 4,000. So that's already in her budget. She has it obligated. So last year, when we ran into this issue, it was around mid-year where they were being paid as vendors. So I believe what happened is they were switched as employees, but the rate stayed the same. So the $75 to, what's her name? Elizabeth was what she was being paid as a vendor. But that switch happened in 2024. There was a budget for it in her contractual services, so we just did a transfer to the personnel line. So it was in transition. However, for this year, there is no budget for these part-timers.
Is there any other place in the senior budget that you can identify?
I can take a look.
Take a look.
Is Mrs. Mustian aware of what's going on?
No, she's gonna have to be made aware that it has to be, it's $25 per hour as an
Yeah,
employee.
I know that, but I mean, is she aware that she was overpaid and is going to have to?
No, that's something that I will have to have discussion with her
I
about.
mean, she may or may not stay.
Correct.
By New York
Well,
State
that's what
labor
That's
law-
what I spoke with the mayor about.
You're not allowed to dock her. She has to either return the money or,
Well, that'll be up to.
The problem was the change from vendor, where it was accepted to pay her $75 and switching her to employee was, we have to go back to what other recs, so that's where the issue is arising from. Which is fine, but yeah, like you said, how do you go down to that much when it was since 2018 when she started?
She's been getting $75 for a 1-hour class. How does that get justified when we have all the other programs in the city are?
Because
are
it
not
started
paid?
as a vendor and I submitted the.
Yeah, but regardless if it's a vendor or an employee, paying $75 for a 1-hour class for a free class seems to be excessive, but
Correct.
why don't we table it and get some more information?
Okay.
All right,
I'd
so,
be interested to see what she has to say.
all right.
So should I continue to have her coming every week or should?
Well,
I
you have to
pause her
explain to her if
class?
she's coming, she's at $25 an hour. We're
Correct.
going to make the changes, the correct changes right now. And are they, time clocks hooked up over there?
They're not, no.
When's that starting?
I have to connect with Helen on that, so she can give me an update, and I'll
Okay.
follow up.
All right, so we'll continue the class at $25 an hour for Mushton and Sailor, and then we'll figure out the money at the next meeting.
Okay.
Motion to table,
So move.
moved by Massey, seconded by myself. All in favor?
I,
Aye. Okay, thank you. Authorization to accept boxing equipment donation from the Pratty family. Be resolved, Common Council concurs with the Board of Estimate, accepts a boxing equipment donation from the Pratty family consisting of weights and workout bench. Motion by Rodriguez,
Second.
seconded by Massey. Rayland, you need it transported, or you guys picked it up, or?
Yes, our guys picked it up.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item 3.5, authorization of the mayor to sign raindrop proposal for Maple Hill Splash Pad. Raylan, you want to address that?
Yes, in order to move forward with the project and get the engineer to draw everything for the installers, we do have to at least show a PO so we can go into the system so they can start creating everything. And then once we give them the purchase order for that amount, then they will move forward with the engineer drawing up everything.
motion.
We have, motion by Rodriguez, seconded by myself, just to get on the floor for discussion. So this is how much in the grant, do you recall? How much money in the grant? Is it 500,000?
A little, I
And
think
there's-
it's like 750,000.
Okay. And the grant's not going to cover the whole expense, right, Leonora? And we're going to have to put some money in at some point, unless we already have. We have already, okay. So it's fully budgeted, we're just waiting on the grant disbursement agreement before we can start spending the grant money? Yes, okay.
Yep.
All right, so motion by Rodriguez, seconded by myself. This is the Maple Hill Splash Pad. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Authorization 3.6, the mayor to sign Harry Rotolo alarm monitoring agreement. It's annual fee of $468.
So moved.
Motion by Massey, seconded by
Second.
Rodriguez. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item 3.7, authorization to host a citywide yard sale and waive associated fees for June 7th and 8th, 2025, and September 13th, 2025. that all associated fees are customary for yard sales be waived for the duration of these events identified here.
Motion.
Motion by Rodriguez.
Second.
Seconded by Massey. Any questions? Rick, so you got 2 days on round one and then 1 day on September.
Yes, so the 2 days in June will once again coincide with the opening of the farmer's market. We thought that was a really great opportunity last year to bring folks into the downtown, into the city. We're also working with Economic and Community Development to have the park area in front of the pavilion once again in June this year for yard sales for folks who do not have a place at their house, that live in downtown in an apartment or don't have a yard to have a yard sale in. And then the September one, we thought 1 day was perfect.
Okay. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Item 3.8, authorization to approve the salary for the new HR specialist. Finance Department is requesting the approval of starting salary of the new HR specialist to be $60,405.80, effective upon the approval of the Common Council. Motion by myself.
Second.
Second by Rodriguez. And Leonor, you want to just explain that this is not a new employee, that this is a shifting, creating of a new position, but basically moving it from another, right?
Yes, I recently had someone retire within my departments, so we are sort of reshuffling our department and using the opportunity to seek out a new position and internally promote someone, which is Maria in my department.
Is it union or
This is non-union,
This is an exempt position, correct?
and this is an exempt
tested?
position. Tested,
It's a
yes,
tested position.
tested position, but non-union?
non-union.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item 3.9, authorization to approve the fire department LoSAP list.
So moved.
Motion.
Okay,
Motion by Massey, seconded by Rodriguez.
do the other way.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item 3.10, authorization to approve the citywide part-time employee rate schedule for 2025. The Finance Department is requesting the approval of the attached part-time rate schedule for budget 2025. Funding is already budgeted for most employees. If not, the department heads are required to request the funding if needed. The effective date will be upon approval of the Common Council. Motion by myself,
Second.
seconded by Massey. You know, these, what we were just talking about with the senior center, those part-time employee numbers are in this?
Yes, so I guess we have to amend it to say $25 an hour for those two employees.
Okay. And Mr. Massey, go ahead. You have a question?
No,
Oh, okay, I thought you did. You wanted to say anything else, Leonora?
We're just doing things a little bit differently. The department heads usually forefront the part-time increases. We thought it would be a lot more organized if we just do it all in one shot on a year-to-year basis. So this is just something new that we're doing.
Agreed. Okay. All in favor?
aye,
Aye. Item 3.11, authorization to approve the engagement letter with the Baker and Hostetler LLP for tax credit counseling services related to the O&W project. This is a special tax credit counsel to the city. Authorization for the mayor to sign the agreement. It's a $10,000 retainer to be funded through the capital line 5-900 O&W project. Motion by myself,
second.
seconded by Massey. Any questions?
What's he gonna be doing?
They're doing the tax credit applications. Right now, we're looking at about, what was it, $6 to $8 million? $6 to $8 million in tax credits on the project. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then we have
Snow removal.
some snow removal for Hoffman Street. Challenge. Joanne Marrero, owner of 2, has stated that she personally shovels every snowfall. The express for safety of her household, she states that she sent a letter of warning. She did not, that she received a fine the following day. I'd like to see the evidence of proof that code enforcement and employee of the snow was not removed by the resident, therefore, then removed by city workers. She stated that she has pictures of the property not showing any snow on the sidewalk on February 9th and February 11th, so let me see. Paperwork, we have the pictures in here, and
The picture shows.
Three of them.
Nope, we did it.
Yeah, it's this picture
By the hydrant.
by the hydrant, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only shoveled partly part of it. I don't know if she has a. Jacob, who submits these pictures? These are from our department, right? Yeah. And they're all three from 210, correct? From February 10th? Yeah, there's obviously snow on the sidewalk still. I guess her complaint is that the letter is dated 210? Do you know when the snowstorm was? I don't know what she's complaining about, other than the letter. So she didn't submit any pictures then?
No.
Okay, no dated pictures, all right, so dies for lack of a motion. Next item is 75 Dawson. Dawson Avenue Dental Fee as a landlord for 75 Dawson was unjustly issued a bill for snow removal, snow deposit on the sidewalks from the city of Middletown. There's no clear ownership of the roadway. She asked the fine be refunded to the landlord. I don't know what that means.
Well, 75, Jacob, is there a sidewalk there? Because that's the dentist's office, right? 75 is the dentist's office. Oh, there is a sidewalk.
Yeah, but there's no snow on the sidewalk.
Just gonna say, yeah.
No, right in front of the sidewalk.
Oh, I
that
see the
where
first
it's plowed,
picture.
They
Yeah.
plowed into it. Everybody got written up on Dolson for that.
All right, so they piled the snow up in front of the crosswalk.
Yes.
All right. All right, so motion, anyone want to make a motion? No. 114, 117, and 122 Linden Avenue, multifamily, in May of '24. I don't know where he's been,
March.
or March of '24. No, but the violation,
Lawn cutting.
lawn cutting in
It's
May.
long, it's long.
The pictures speak for themselves, I would think, no?
Yep.
Looks it.
Yeah, anyone want to make a motion? Dies for lack of a motion. And 28 California Avenue, appeal to a snow removal charge. The guy who clears has been away for a few days, he's not aware of it. Certainly not. And there's a ton of snow on it. Pictures are clear. Anyone want to make a motion?
No, that's right by the bus stop, too.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, dies for lack of a motion. All right, any other business?
Nope.
All right, meeting adjourned.
Don't move.
Thank you.